Hello, everyone, and welcome to this information session about living and working conditions in Belgium. My name is Catherine Roulans, and I am here with two of my colleagues here, Clotilde Dorieux and Annelise Thomas. We are all working for different public employment services in Belgium. So let's have a look at today's agenda. First of all, we will present you Belgium and give you information about our country. Then we will focus on the labor market and working conditions. We will also introduce you to our different regions and their specificities. And finally, we will see how to look for a job in Belgium.
So I'll start to give you a quick idea on how Belgium looks like. What could it be to be in Belgium? So Belgium is positioned quite in the center of Europe, of the European Union. Our capital, Brussels, is actually the capital of the European Union as well. We have borders with several countries, and from Belgium, it's actually quite easy to move around in Europe. As you can see, we are quite a small country and with a very high density of population. We use the euro as a currency. And what is special about us, even though we're not the only ones in the case, but we actually speak, we have three official languages, which are Dutch, French, and German. And depending on the region space where you are, where you are in the country, you speak a different one. So maybe you're here and you don't know yet if you really want to come to Belgium. So maybe these could help you decide, take your decision. Belgium is actually quite well renowned for research and development initiatives. We are an innovative country and we're quite, let's say, tech-oriented economy. Our universities and schools are well ranked as an international level. And speaking as someone who worked in different countries and who is actually from another country, I can tell you that the balance between professional life and personal life in Belgium is actually quite good. It's very enjoyable. As the country is small, everything is close to each other. All the infrastructures are quite good, so it's easy to move around. And Belgium is very rich in terms of culture. There are always things to see, to do, to discover. So Belgium is very interesting for this reason as well. Now, because of course images are better than words, let's watch a very short 1 minute video of what Belgium looks like. All right. As I was saying, Belgium is a small country, but it's a bit complicated somehow. We actually are a kingdom, but we are also a federal state. So there's a federal authority that is in charge of national matters. But then you have two different official bodies, which are, two different types of official bodies. You have the language communities. I was telling you just before we have three languages. So we have three language communities. and they are in charge of certain things such as education, for example. So schools and university depend on the language communities. And then we have the regions, which are geographically determined. So we have Flanders, which is at the top of the country, the north part of the country. You have Wallonia in the south, and Brussels that is kind of lost in the middle of Flanders. So in each region, we speak different languages, and depending on the region, it's like either one language or two. So you can see it's a bit complicated, but we always find our way in this complicated country.
Okay, what about the labor market? It's also according to the regions. You see, in every region you have another public employment service. In the north we have the Flemish region where you have VDAB, and there the people speak Dutch. And then in the south we have the Walloon region where the public employment service is called Le Forum. And then in the middle, as Clotilde told, there is the Brussels capital region where people speak Dutch and French. And the public employment service is called Actiris. And then in the eastern part of Belgium, we have ADG, Arbeitsamt Oost-Belgien, where people speak German. It's also quite different concerning the unemployment rate. In Belgium, in total, has an unemployment rate of 5.8%. And then the lowest employment rate is the region of Flanders with 3.7%. Then we have the Walloon region of 7.7%. And the highest unemployment region is the Brussels capital region. What about the labor market characteristics? We are really a service-based economy. We have lots of companies in transport, communication, finance, distribution, and the retail sectors. The most of the companies, they are small and medium-sized companies with a maximum of 10 workers per company. That's why we have also a high rate of vacant positions. If you consider it on the European level, we have the second highest in the EU after the Netherlands. And this is also why we have a lot of shortages. There are also a lot of mobility within the country, within Belgium, the 3 regions, and also with the neighboring countries, Luxembourg, the Netherlands, France, and Germany. What is typical about our labor market is that we have a high number of permanent contracts. This makes it interesting for people to come to work to Belgium. They immediately get a permanent contract and they get a job with a future and with opportunities.
Let's now go over the working conditions in Belgium. So working conditions in Belgium, a full-time will be 38 hours per week. We also have minimum 20 paid days leave each year. This is a minimum, so your employer might give you more. What is a bit specific about our working conditions is that even if we have a legal minimum wage in Belgium, wages are negotiated collectively by committees with representatives of employers and workers in a given sector. So for each sectors, these collective agreements determine the minimum wage and the wage progression depending on your age, level of qualification and experience. Also, as you can see with the average monthly salary in Belgium, taxes are relatively high. They will be deducted at source by your employer. And when you fill your tax declaration at the end of the year, the tax department will calculate your exact tax amount and refund you any overpayment or ask you claim back sums that you would still owe to the state. If you want to know more about Belgium, here are a few useful links for you. So first of all, you have the EURES portal where everything is listed about living and working in Belgium. So you have all the living and working conditions there in this section. We also have Belgium.be, the federal portal of the government, where you will find official information and services about Belgium. And also, finally, we have a social security webpage that is dedicated to newcomers. On this page, you can describe your situation and receive tailored information about administration and possible benefits.
So let's take a look now at each region. I will start with my region, so Brussels capital region. in our region is quite multicultural and actually young, with a young population. So we have more than 180 nationalities living together, and roughly a bit less languages spoken here in the region. 37% of the population is non-Belgian, which is pretty high. In Brussels, I told you earlier, we have the headquarter of the European Union, but we also have NATO here. So it makes Brussels actually the second city after New York to have the biggest international presence on its ground. So actually, when you want to move to Brussels and to work in Brussels, it's better to speak English and at least one of the two local languages, which are French and Dutch. We are specifically in Belgium, like Annelies said, we are a tertiary economy, like we're based on services. And in Brussels, it's even more true and more visible. So our job market is open mainly to qualified workers, not only, of course, but quite a bit, which might explain the high unemployment rate. This together with the language. If you are willing to look for a job in Brussels, first of all, you can check our website, so actiris.brussels. You will find job offers in French and in Dutch. And if you want to know more about the job market in the region, you can check panorama.actiris.brussels, the last website at the end of the page. There you will find information, and you will find a list of what we call recruiting positions, which are actually either professions where we have shortages, but also the ones that are highly looked for here in Belgium because there are new professions maybe, or because it's very specific to Belgium. For example, we have a chocolate and ice cream maker. If you're a chocolate or ice cream maker, come to Brussels. We are waiting for you. And if you have a question about Brussels, there is our email here. Before we move to Flanders, I just want to tell you very quickly about working in the EU bubble, what we call the EU bubble. So if you're willing to work in the EU institutions, you will not go through Actiris, actually. You can directly check the EPSO portal. It's the own recruitment system of the EU. They also have a specific program for traineeships. If you're willing to work at the Commission as a trainee, there is the Blue Book traineeship program. Or if you want to go work in the European Parliament, then you have Schuman traineeship program. And if you look for a job in the area of the European affairs, because of course there are plenty of companies and organizations working around the institutions, you will find job offers on the 3 websites that are listed here. And on the right, in the blue box, you will find 2 websites which will give you plenty of information if you're moving to Brussels. So commissioner.brussels and Visit Brussels. Visit Brussels is actually the website of the tourism office in the region, but you'll find plenty of information on how to move around and what to find when you come to Brussels.
In Flanders, we have the lowest unemployment rate of Belgium. This is why we have lots of jobs for people from abroad. Flanders is also a very innovative region, which offers interesting career opportunities. Worldwide, we belong to the top 15 of companies who invest the most in research and development, and we have the largest chemical cluster in Antwerp of Europe. What kind of shortages do we have on our labor market? First of all, ICT jobs, software developers, for instance. Also in construction, we need many profiles, technical profiles in industry sector, truck drivers in the transport sector, logistics staffs, nurses in the care sector, cooks and waiters, and of course also laborers for fruit picking and for growing vegetables. Where do you find information? First of all, our website of our PES, it's called vdib.be. There you find job offers in Dutch and other information, but unfortunately all of it is in Dutch. This is why we have made another website, Work in Flanders, and there you find job offers in English. And these job offers are from employers who have asked us to spread their job offers abroad. And on this website, you also find general information on living and working in Flanders, but more detailed information you can also find on the website of Your Future in Flanders. That's from the Flemish government. Also, information on work permit for people from outside of Europe can be found on the website of flanders.be. I have also mentioned the links to the international houses in the various provinces, because there you can contact the people directly to have more information on the local life, how to find schools for your children, where to find houses, what about hobbies. Those people can help you with this, with your relocation to Belgium. If you have general questions about working possibilities in Belgium, in Flanders, more specifically, you can use our email address international@vdab.be.
And finally, let's talk a bit about Wallonia. So in Wallonia, we have six sectors accounting for 75% of all jobs. You can see those sectors listed on the diagram on the slide. But the region is also banking on the development of key sectors, such as transport and logistics, agri-food, life sciences, and IT. Traditional industry is contracted in Wallonia, but it's tending to specialize, and it is in high demand of skilled workers. Another critical sector is construction, because although the demand for jobs remains higher in Wallonia than in Flanders, our region is experiencing a shortage of skilled workers. And so if those shortages are particularly acute in the construction and industry sector, we also have other sectors that are looking for qualified workers, such as health, education, hospitality, IT, and so forth. And a little word about IT. Right now, it's the sector that is currently the fastest growing sector in terms of employment in Wallonia. So it's still rather small, but it's developing fast. If you want to know more about Wallonia, I can suggest that you visit the website wallonia.be. This website provides information in English. You also can visit our website, leforum.be, which is the website of the Wallonian Public Employment Service. There you can create your own personal account, publish your CV, and do your job search. But keep in mind that the website is fully in French. Also, we have an email displayed here where you can contact us with any question.
All right, so now let's talk about how to find a job in Belgium, how to look for it. First of all, so we listed our own website. So the first thing you actually have to know when you start to look for a job in Belgium is where you can and you want to work, because the language is very important. So you can use our website that we already mentioned. You can, of course, use the EURES portal. There you will find plenty of offers. So we really highly recommend that you use the filters. It will be easier like this. There are job offers in Belgium in the world-known websites like Indeed, Stepstone, but we also have vacature.com, for example. In Belgium, we really use the social network, the social media to look for a job. So update your page and follow your favorite companies. You can use this social media without a doubt, and it will help you in your search. Also, you may want to check if the Chamber of Commerce from your own country has an office here in Belgium. Because, for example, we have the Spanish one, which actually is part of the EURES network. We have the French one, and we have the Italian one, and I'm sure we have plenty others. So when you apply for a job in Belgium, remember the language is important. So either you apply in the language of the job offer, as in any other places, or you apply in the language of the region. It's very important. When it comes to the CV, we like a one-page CV, but if you have longer experience, like 15 years, for example, two pages, will be all right. We still use the cover letter. This has to be maximum 1 page. This is no discussion. And remember to leave out sensitive information about yourself. Yeah, we recommend to use the reverse chronology. Now, if we talk about the interview, the key is really to come prepared, of course, and this is not specific to Belgium. You should get as many information as possible on the company that you're meeting and really show them and let them know that you are happy to meet them. Choose concrete examples of your real life, your real experience related to the position you're applying, because you'll be asked to give examples in certain types of situation and everything. And never leave without knowing what is going to happen next. Now, when looking for a job in Belgium, it might be interesting to know a little bit about recognition of qualification. So, as we said, regions, language, communities, the recognition of qualification always depends on language. So it depends where you want to work. Then you'll have to go to a different institution and follow a different process. So you can find information on the website eniknarik.net, so the last line you see on the slide. And just remember as well, you will also, of course, see the regulated professions, but keep in mind that from one region to another, so not language communities, but region, these professions this list might be different. And remember also, if you want to work in the public sector, like official Belgium sector, or public Belgium, sorry, the Belgium official bodies, you will have to have a recognition of your diploma or your qualification, even though you have a diploma from Europe or wherever, or your qualification wherever they're from, you will need a local recognition. So you have to keep that in mind.
Okay, before you leave, what do you need to remember from Belgium? First of all, our innovative technology. Secondly, chocolates. Did you know that the composition of the Belgian chocolate is regulated by royal decree? This is why we have the best chocolate in Belgium. And did you know that Belgium was the second country in the world to legalize the same-sex marriage in 2003? We are really a diverse society and really open to people who want to contribute to our economy. So we hope to welcome you soon in Belgium.